What's up, y'all? Brandon with BC Talks here. So this past weekend, I took a quick trip up to New York City to go to the home opening series against the Toronto Blue Jays. I wasn't able to make it to the home opener on Friday, which we got shut out in that game, but I did go to the Saturday and Sunday games, which we scored a ton of runs in both of those games, and we won big. So I am personally taking credit for those wins because the one game I didn't go to, we didn't score any points and we got shut out. So I'm taking credit for those wins. But before the game on Saturday, I had a few hours to kill, so I decided I'd go comic book hunting, and I decided I would visit Midtown Comics. Now, I didn't go to the Times Square location because, in my opinion, that's a bit of a tourist trap. The store that I went to was actually the outlet store that they have out in Queens, and they have a ton of back issues there, as well as a whole bunch of dollar bins, which y'all know I am a dollar bin lover. I could flip through dollar bins for days and days. And I was actually at the location for 4 hours and only got through half of the DC dollar bins, and they had sections for DC, Marvel, and Indie. I went through a few Indie ones as well, and a couple of Marvel bins. But I was mostly in the DC section because y'all know I'm a DC guy, and I was there and barely got through those. That's how many dollar bins they had. And in addition to that, the dollar bins were half off that day, so really they were 50-cent bins. So it was a great deal all around. I got a decent stack from them. So let's go over everything that I got in today's video. Before we get started, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more comic book and pop culture talk. And make sure you shoot me a follow on Whatnot. I am a verified seller on Whatnot, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll save $10 off your first purchase if it's your first time signing up. And you don't just have to use that with me. You can use it with anybody on Whatnot, and not just for comics. For anything that you can collect, you can pretty much find it on Whatnot. But if you are into collecting and buying comics, definitely shoot me a follow because I am always updating my bins on my marketplace with different variant covers and books that I come across. And once I get a little bit more time here, I'm going to start doing some more pop-up auction shows. So definitely shoot me a follow to stay tuned for those. Also, some of y'all may not know this, but today is the 1 year anniversary of the channel. Now, if you go to the About the channel, it probably says that the channel started sometime in February, but that's just when I actually created the channel. I didn't actually post the first video on the channel until April 11th, which was a recap of Star Wars Celebration. As y'all know, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and so that was actually the first video posted on the channel. So I consider that actually the start of the channel, even though I created the actual channel a couple months before. I just didn't create any videos. I was setting everything up, all the social medias and the the graphics and whatnot and everything, and figuring out different things about YouTube in that couple months before I actually posted the first video. But shout out to everyone that has liked every video and commented and followed along, whether you've been here since April of last year or you've come at some point along the way. I appreciate all of the support, the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, and y'all just rocking with me. I've had a lot of fun doing the channel. It's evolved a lot since that first video. If you go back and watch it, it's a lot different in those early days than it is now. I've learned a lot along the way, and I've had a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we look like in 1 year's time from now, and how the channel evolves from now, up until the future. But we'll get into the haul for today. Like I said, I went to Midtown Comics Outlet in Queens, and there is one book that I got that was not from the dollar bins. This was from their back issues. I went through their back issues of Uncanny X-Men. As y'all know, if y'all been following the channel, I am collecting the Chris Claremont run of Uncanny X-Men, and so I found one of the issues that I don't already have. This is Uncanny X-Men 267, and this is the third appearance of Gambit. Now, speaking of Gambit, my goodness, if you haven't watched the last the latest episode of X-Men 97 on Disney Plus. Oh my goodness. That one was a heartbreaker. I won't spoil it any more than that. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it after this video. Definitely, whenever you get some time, watch it, and make sure you have some time because you're going to sit down for it. I had to like decompress after that episode. Um, yeah, it was a lot. But yeah, this is the third appearance of Gambit, and I didn't have this issue. It was $3.50. You can see up there. Um, Anytime that I can find, Uncanny X-Men issues for less than $4 or $5 in good condition, I definitely try to pick them up because that's a really great deal, in my opinion, for Uncanny X-Men, especially the Claremont issues. Now, the first issues from the dollar bins, which actually I guess they were 50-cent bins, because like I said, the dollar bins were on sale for half off that day. So they're really 50-cent bins. The first issues are two of the same. It is Batman 92. Got two copies of this. Now, I talked about this recently on the channel before. So if you've been following the channel for a little bit, you probably have seen this one. This is the second full appearance of Punchline, the first cover appearance of Punchline, which you can see her down there by my finger. It's also the first appearance of the Underbroker and the first meeting of Harley Quinn and Punchline. Now, if you're not familiar with Punchline, Punchline is basically the Joker's new girlfriend. As y'all may know, Harley Quinn, she left the Joker and she went to go on to do her own thing. She's kind of like an anti hero now, and she's also with Poison Ivy, Pamela. So, the Joker has a new girlfriend named Punchline, which I really like the character design for Punchline. She's a really cool looking character and also a cool name as well, Punchline. I think that's she could use some better writing at times, but a lot of characters could. I think that there's some cool things they could do with Punchline and not just make her kind of a Harley Quinn derivative, make her seem like a little bit more than that. But yeah, I do like the character design. Punchline looks really cool. And like I said, I've talked about that on the channel before. I'm pretty sure I have a couple of those already. So I'll probably throw that in the whatnot pile to go for sale. So you might see that if you follow me on whatnot. Now the next one I have here is one that was pretty controversial when it came out. I remember this is Superman, Son of Kal-El, #5. This is the issue where John Kent, which y'all know is Clark Kent and Lois Lane's son, John Kent reveals that he is bisexual. Like I said, I remember when this came out, a bunch of people who never have read comics in their lives, they all came out and said they made Superman gay. Comics are so woke now, and they didn't even realize that this is not Clark Kent Superman, the original Superman. It's his son, John Kent Superman, and so they were kind of sounding stupid when they came out and said that. Everybody was like, "Superman's gay." And it's like, no, this isn't Clark Kent. This is John, his son. But people are gonna say stupid things and have all their arguments about comics and everything being woke and whatnot. But yeah, this is a pretty big moment for modern DC Comics, as John Kent is probably the most prominent character to be revealed as bi. Maybe him and Harley Quinn, I would say. Harley Quinn, she's with Poison Ivy, as I mentioned before. So them two are probably the most prominent DC characters that are bi. So, but yeah, that was a pretty big and interesting moment when it happened. I remember for DC Comics. This next issue is a little bit of an older one. It's from 1993. This is Robin #0. This is the start of the Prodigal crossover arc, and this is the issue where Nightwing takes up the mantle of Batman while Bruce Wayne recovered from the events of Nightfall. And so y'all know Nightwing, he became Batman. A lot of people, they say that Nightwing was a better Batman than Batman. Even though Nightwing didn't want to be Batman, he kind of struggled with that. but some people say that he was better at Batman than Bruce Wayne. But I personally, I prefer Nightwing or Dick Grayson as Nightwing to him being Batman. Um, but yeah, that was in this series, and that happened in this issue number 0, which is a weird way to start your numbering. But they did that there. This next one is Green Lantern number 5. This is a variant cover. It is a Juliet NECA cardstock variant cover. I love this the art on this variant cover, and of course that is this is actually a key, by the way. It's a little minor key. It's the first appearance of Jessica Cruz as a Yellow Lantern in disguise. So a little minor key, but I got the issue. I picked it up because of for it to go into my variant covers collection. It was a cover by I like the cover, and of course this is featuring Joe Mullen, or Mullion. I don't know how to pronounce her last name actually, but she is the Green Lantern. That was the black female Green Lantern, and she was in that 12 issue limited series that got a lot of praise. I haven't read that one. I need to pick it up and read it. Apparently, it's very good. But I do like her character design, and she used to get a little bit more rub. I think that she's an interesting character design. I like that. Her glasses and whatnot, very interesting looking. But I like that variant cover, so I picked that up. This next one was also another cover by, y'all know I love Yara Flor. This one is Wonder Girl number 7. This is the Julian Totino Tedesco cover, um, variant cover. And this one is featuring, of course, Yara Flor. I love Yara Flor, and anytime that I can pick up a variant cover of my girl, I'm gonna pick it up. So y'all see, I got the Funko Pop back there as well. Um, so I picked that up for my collection. This next one is another variant cover. It's another Tedesco variant cover. This one is Action Comics 1029, and this one is Superman. I love Superman variant covers. I have a pretty decent sized collection of Superman variant covers as well. And speaking of Superman, I don't know if y'all saw, but they at CinemaCon this past week, they revealed the full logo, the full new logo for Superman, and a lot of people don't like it because they love that classic logo. I mean, I do like the classic logo, but you know, I'm rocking with James Gunn heavy, so whatever he wants to do, I'm down for it, and I am of an open mind. This next one is Harley Quinn number 52. This is another um, cover by. This one's not a key, but it's just a really cool cover. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but it's got like a chrome finish to it, like one of those '90s covers. And it's got Harley Quinn on there. Really cool variant cover there. This next one is a key. It is Superman, the Man of Steel, number 22. This is the first appearance and origin of John Henry Irons as Steel in costume. He previously appeared, of course, in Adventures of Superman 500, but he wasn't in costume. He was just John Henry Irons as a civilian. This is the first time he gets his costume, and I've talked about this one on the channel before, and also that Adventures of Superman 500 as well. And this is a die cut cover, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you pop that open and you can see the whole image of him as Steel. So that's really interesting. And like I said, I think I already have that one, so I'll probably throw that one in the whatnot pile to sell for a couple bucks to somebody if they want it as well. This next one is Star Trek: The Next Generation, number 76. This one is not a key. I bought it because I was gonna give it to my parents. My mom and my dad are pretty big Trekkies, but mostly for the Next Generation. Picard and all of them. And I really love this cover. It's got the whole crew from the Next Generation on there, and I became a fan of the Next Generation because of them. That's probably the only geeky thing that my parents were really into. They're not really into geeky things like that. I kind of came upon all this stuff myself, but as a kid, they would always watch reruns of the Next Generation, and so I also got into Star Trek through the next generation through them. So I got this to gift to them. So if my mom is watching this, you're spoiled of the gift that I have for you. Sorry about that. This next one is the history of the DC Universe #1. This is not a key, but it is written by Marv Wolfman with George Perez art. And as y'all may know if you've been following the channel for a while, George Perez and Marv Wolfman are two of my favorite artists and writers in comic book history. So I have a lot of George Perez and Marv Wolfman series. I'm collecting the Teen Titans Marv Wolfman series. I got the George Perez Wonder Woman issue #1 back there. Also, I'm a big fan of Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was Marv Wolfman and George Perez as well. So yeah, they George Perez and Marv Wolfman. I love their art, their work, writing and art respectively. So yeah, and anytime I can get my hands on something from them, I pick it up. This next one is Catwoman #49. This one was also a cover by. It has you can see it's got Punchline on there. So that'll go in my Punchline collection. But it is also a little minor key. It's the debut of Hasegawa in her Catwoman costume. Now, if you're not familiar, Hasagawa is a criminal that briefly took over the mantle of Catwoman, basically after Catwoman got herself into some trouble and then sort of semi-retired to kind of get herself out of the situation she was in. Iko Hasagawa took over as Catwoman, not with Selina's blessing, and she kind of did her own thing, kind of pretending to be Catwoman. So yeah, so it's a little minor key, but I bought it because of the cover. That'll go with my Punchline covers. This next one is Firestorm, the Nuclear Man, #53. This is a little minor key. It is the first appearance and origin of Silver Shade, who's that guy right there on the cover there. You can see him there. And now this is just a minor villain, which, to my knowledge, this is pretty much his only appearance. I think he appears in the next issue as well, or one more issue in the Firestorm series, but he doesn't really do anything beyond that. But James Gunn is known to use very minor characters that have a few appearances in his different series and movies. So maybe he'll take Silver Shade and put him in something and give him a little bit more prominence than he had in the comics, or just to use as a joke or whatnot. I can see James Gunn doing something like that. This next one is Action Comics #686. This is also a little minor key. It is Funeral for a Friend Part 6. But I got the issue because of the cover with Supergirl. I really like the cover and then the trade dress, how it says Supergirl in Action Comics on there. I thought that was really cool as well. So I picked that up for a cover by. This next one is also a cover by. This is Wonder Woman #41. This is a Jenny Frison cover. If you're not familiar with Jenny Frison, she's one of my favorite modern comic book variant artists. Her and Peach Momoko I really like. Obviously David Nakayama. In-Hyuk Lee is really great. There's a lot of great variant cover artists working these days. But Jenny Frison, I just love I don't know what you would call that, like it looks like penciling or whatnot. I don't know, I'm not an artist. But she has a very distinct and noticeable style to her art that I really enjoy. So anytime I see a Jenny Frison cover, especially for 50 cents, I am gonna pick it up. The next one we have here is Super Sons #4. This one is not a key, but if y'all remember a couple of hauls back, I picked up the first 3 issues, so I'm going to add this to those. I guess I'm now collecting the Super Sun series, which I don't have a problem with because, as y'all know, I've talked about it before. That's one of my favorite series, and I really wish they'd bring it back. They gave us a little bit of taste of it in the recent Wonder Woman ongoing series, the Dawn of DC Wonder Woman series. The B issues, or the side stories, have a more older Damien and John, who are the Super Sons, as y'all may know. It has them doing basically being the older brothers and watching over Trinity, who is Wonder Woman's daughter. So those are pretty cool, and they kind of reignited my want for a Super Sun series. This next one is Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld #5. This is from the second Amethyst series. Now, I got this because the Amethyst, she interests me as a character. I think that a sword and sorcery, kind of He-Man and She-Ra type character in the DC universe could make for a very interesting story nowadays. And so, I don't know, she's just interested me as a character. So I've been picking up issues here and there when I see them for cheap. So I'm just going to keep that one for the collection to read. And this last one we have here in the stack is Trinity #2. This one is not a key, but I got it. As y'all know, I've recently been interested in collecting the classic 90s covers that, have the chrome or are embossed or glittery or shiny or stuff like that. I used to hate those covers a lot, but over the past few months, I've come to really appreciate them. And this one, it has the chrome on it and it's shiny as well. So that will go in the '90s covers collection, and that is everything that I got from Midtown Comics. And that is going to do it for today's video. Again, thanks to everybody who has liked, commented, and subscribed, and shared the video and the channel with their friends this past year. I'm really excited to see how the channel grows and what the channel looks like in this upcoming year. But make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more comic book and pop culture talk. And I will see y'all another day.